Why is Christianity the most widely followed religion in the world? This isn't just a matter of numbers or tradition. It's about something deeper, something spiritual that has moved through generations, crossed continents, and transformed lives from palaces to prisons. Christianity is not just a religion to many, it's a relationship, a message of redemption, love, and unshakable hope. Its impact is undeniable. From the humble beginnings of a man who walked the earth preaching peace and forgiveness to a global movement that touches nearly every corner of the planet. This isn't about promoting or debating, it's about understanding a force that has shaped history, culture, and countless souls. As you listen, open your heart and stay engaged, because this journey isn't just educational, it's personal, it's powerful, and it may just awaken something in you that's been waiting to be heard. Christianity's rise to becoming the most widely followed religion in the world didn't happen overnight. In its earliest days, Christianity was a small underground movement in the Roman Empire, practiced quietly by those who believed in the teachings of Jesus. These early Christians were often persecuted, ridiculed, and even executed for their faith. They gathered in secret, prayed in caves, and held tightly to the message of love, redemption, and eternal life. Despite all opposition, something powerful kept drawing people in. The message was simple but profound. It wasn't just for the rich or educated, not for a chosen race or a political class. It was for everyone. That truth gave the faith a strength that no empire could break. In the 4th century, something extraordinary happened. Emperor Constantine, the ruler of Rome, claimed to have had a vision of the cross and chose to embrace Christianity. His conversion changed everything. Christianity went from being an outlawed and oppressed belief system to being legally protected and even promoted. The empire began building churches, spreading the scriptures, and supporting the Christian mission across Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. Constantine's decision to favor Christianity gave it influence, structure, and reach like never before. But the faith didn't spread just because of government power. It spread because it touched people's hearts. Christianity offered more than rituals. It offered relationship, a connection with a loving, forgiving God who welcomed the broken, the outcast, and the lost. Through the roads of Rome, missionaries like Paul carried the message across cities and regions. Because many parts of the empire shared common languages, Greek and Latin, the gospel could be shared clearly and powerfully. And as more people heard it, more people believed. Even after the fall of the Roman Empire, Christianity had already taken deep root in European societies. It shaped kings and councils, inspired art and education, and brought comfort to people facing wars and plagues. The foundation laid during the Roman era continued to grow for centuries, influencing entire civilizations. The historical expansion of Christianity through the Roman Empire was more than just a strategic moment. It was the beginning of a spiritual revolution that would ripple through time, carried by faith, driven by truth, and sealed by sacrifice. Another powerful reason Christianity became the world's most followed religion lies in its universal message of salvation and inclusion. From the beginning, the teachings of Jesus were not limited to a particular tribe, race, or social class. Unlike many belief systems that were tied to cultural or national identity, Christianity broke those barriers. Jesus preached to Jews and Gentiles, men and women, the poor and the rich. His message wasn't only for the elite or the educated, it was for the world. That openness gave Christianity a reach far beyond Jerusalem, far beyond the Roman Empire, into every nation and culture that heard the call of grace. The idea that salvation is available to anyone who believes, that God so loved the world he gave his only son, was radical. It meant that regardless of one's past sins or social standing, redemption was possible. That promise gave hope to those who felt forgotten, judged, or oppressed. It attracted those who had nothing because it offered everything. This universal invitation made Christianity adaptable to different languages, customs, and continents without losing its core truth. It allowed the faith to take root in Africa, Asia, and Europe with equal power. This inclusive spirit was not just a theological idea, it was lived out. The early church welcomed slaves and masters to worship side by side. Women were given spiritual dignity in a world that often dismissed them. The sick, the poor, and the outcast found healing in community. That's why so many flock to this faith, not because of power or pressure, but because they were seen, heard, and loved. And that message continues to echo today. Across centuries and cultures, Christianity has stood out as a faith that speaks to the human soul regardless of background. It crosses every border not by force, but by compassion, by sacrifice, by the simple truth that every life matters to God. This universal invitation didn't just spread the religion, it built a global family, united by belief and bound by love. Another key factor in Christianity becoming the most followed religion in the world is the life-changing personal transformation it offers through faith. At its core, Christianity is not simply a system of rituals or a list of moral rules. It is an invitation to a deep and personal relationship with God. That relationship brings with it a sense of meaning, purpose, identity, and direction that transcends circumstances. People from all walks of life have encountered a sense of peace and belonging that cannot be explained by logic alone. This kind of transformation creates a ripple effect. When one life is changed, it touches others, inspiring curiosity, conviction, and eventually belief. Christianity teaches that every human being is created in the image of God, and no matter how broken, lost, or sinful a person may be, they are never beyond redemption. The story of the prodigal son in the gospel captures this beautifully. Even when a child runs far away, the father waits with open arms. That message of forgiveness, second chances, and unconditional love continues to touch hearts across centuries. People who feel like they've failed, who carry guilt, or who are burdened by shame find release in the idea that they can be made new through Christ. That spiritual rebirth has no equal. It offers a fresh start, not based on human strength, but divine grace. This kind of transformation is not just emotional. It leads to practical change. Many who embrace the Christian faith begin to live with greater compassion, humility, integrity, and service to others. Lives marked by addiction have found healing. Families torn apart by anger have found reconciliation. Communities plagued by violence and poverty have found hope and rebuilding through the presence of faith-based organizations. These stories are not isolated, they are global and countless. From the streets of major cities to the quiet villages of the developing world, Christianity has reshaped lives in powerful and visible ways. The beauty of this transformation is that it doesn't depend on education, wealth, or status. It's available to anyone willing to receive it. That spiritual power has caused Christianity to grow not through dominance or tradition alone, but through millions of quiet, powerful personal stories of people whose lives have been redeemed. It's not just about believing in God, it's about becoming a new person through Him. This personal rebirth has kept the faith alive, vibrant, and ever-growing, generation after generation. Another major reason why Christianity became the world's most followed religion is the role of missionary work and global evangelism. From its earliest days, Christianity was not meant to remain in one place. Jesus commanded His followers to go and make disciples of all nations, and that mission has echoed through centuries. The early apostles, especially Paul, traveled by land and sea, entering cities, villages, synagogues, and homes to share the gospel. Their courage and dedication laid the foundation for what would become a global movement, built not on military conquest, but on spiritual conviction and love. What makes Christian missionary work different is its persistence and adaptability. In every century, Christians have taken the gospel into new regions, often at great personal risk. Whether it was through sailing across oceans to unknown lands or walking through jungles, deserts, and mountains, missionaries have gone to the corners of the earth, driven by a simple but powerful belief that every soul deserves to hear the message of salvation. They didn't just preach, they built schools, hospitals, orphanages, and communities. Their service opened hearts and in turn opened the way for the message of Christ to take root in every culture. Missionaries didn't just bring a message, they brought change. They taught literacy so people could read the Bible for themselves. They offered health care where none existed. They stood against injustice, uplifted the poor, and gave a voice to the voiceless. In many parts of the world, Christianity was not introduced through domination, but through compassion and help. People saw love in action, and that love reflected the heart of, it wasn't just words, it was sacrifice. And that sacrifice drew people in. Even when facing rejection, persecution, or death, many missionaries never gave up. Their resilience and passion became a legacy. New believers were empowered to become local leaders, pastors, and evangelists. Churches were planted, scriptures translated, and worship expressed in native tongues. This kind of faith, one that adapts but does not compromise, has allowed Christianity to thrive in the West and in the East, in rich nations and poor, in freedom and in persecution. Christianity's global presence today is not just a result of history, it's a result of faithful obedience to a divine calling. Missionary work, powered by love and sustained by truth, has taken the gospel from a hill in Jerusalem to the ends of the earth. One of the most compelling reasons Christianity has become the most followed religion in the world is its profound message of hope in the face of suffering. Every human being, no matter where they live or what they believe, experiences pain, loss, fear, and disappointment. Life is full of trials, some seen, some hidden, and it is in these moments of brokenness that Christianity speaks the loudest. It doesn't ignore human suffering, it embraces it. The heart of the Christian message is that God Himself entered into our suffering through Jesus Christ. He didn't remain distant or silent. He walked among us, wept with us, and died for us. This divine identification with human suffering is unique and powerful. People are not just told to be strong or endure their pain. They're told they are not alone. They're told there is purpose in the pain, that there is redemption even in the darkest valley. The cross, the ultimate symbol of Christian faith, is not a symbol of comfort or power. It is a symbol of sacrifice, agony, and ultimately victory. Through it, believers are reminded that even the worst suffering can be transformed into something meaningful. And because Jesus suffered, Christians believe He understands every struggle, every tear, every fear, every failure. That kind of divine empathy draws people in. It gives them a reason to hold on when everything else is falling apart. It provides a kind of peace that goes beyond human understanding. This is why, even in the most persecuted and difficult places on earth, the Christian faith continues to grow. It doesn't offer an escape from pain, it offers strength through it. It doesn't deny suffering, it gives it a voice and a future. But beyond individual struggles, Christianity has also offered hope to entire communities and nations during times of war, natural disaster, poverty, and oppression. Churches have often become sanctuaries, not just spiritually, but physically, places of shelter, healing, and justice. The teachings of Jesus about loving enemies, forgiving those who hurt us, and caring for the least among us have inspired movements of peace and justice across the world. People saw not just a belief system, but a living force of compassion and courage. In a world constantly shaken by uncertainty, Christianity's message of hope continues to resonate. It's not a blind optimism, it's a deep assurance that suffering does not have the final word. The resurrection of Christ is the ultimate promise that there is light beyond the darkness, and that belief has carried generations through the storms of life. Another significant factor in Christianity's widespread growth is its deep connection to education, science, and cultural development. From the very beginning, Christianity has placed a high value on learning, knowledge, and the pursuit of wisdom. In fact, many of the world's first universities were founded by Christians with the goal of educating future generations in both faith and intellectual disciplines. Christianity has been a driving force behind the preservation of knowledge, the advancement of education, and the flourishing of cultural arts. In medieval Europe, the church played a crucial role in establishing schools where literacy was taught and theological education flourished. Monasteries became centers of learning and intellectual exchange, where monks preserved ancient texts, translated scriptures, and contributed to the scientific understanding of the world. It was through these institutions that many early scientific discoveries were made, and many great scholars, such as Sir Isaac Newton, were motivated by their Christian faith to seek out the mysteries of the universe. Christianity has always encouraged the pursuit of truth. whether in the realms of philosophy, science, or ethics. Early Christian thinkers like Augustine of Hippo, Aquinas, and others contributed greatly to the development of Western philosophy and theology, laying the foundations for modern science and the study of human nature. They believed that the search for truth was not only compatible with faith, but that it was an essential part of understanding God's creation. Christianity has also been instrumental in the development of art, music, and literature. Many of the world's greatest artists, musicians, and writers were inspired by their Christian beliefs. Paintings, sculptures, and cathedrals with biblical themes have shaped art history for centuries. Composers like Bach, Handel, and Mozart created works that reflected their Christian faith, using music as a medium to express the divine. As Christianity spread around the globe, it brought with it not just religious teachings, but also a commitment to advancing education and cultural development. Missionaries established schools and hospitals in areas where they spread the gospel, not only sharing the message of Christ, but also teaching people how to read, write, and engage in meaningful intellectual work. This emphasis on education helped elevate entire societies, providing tools for personal development and collective progress. Christianity's connection to education and intellectual growth has been a key factor in its enduring global influence. It has not only inspired millions of people to explore the world with curiosity and wisdom, but it has also provided the framework for building societies that value knowledge, creativity, and the pursuit of truth. This intellectual and cultural legacy continues to shape the world today, reinforcing Christianity's presence as a global force for both spiritual and practical transformation. Christianity's widespread growth and global influence can be attributed to several key factors that have shaped its message, spread, and impact on the world. First, the transformative power of Christianity cannot be overstated. The message of personal redemption and spiritual transformation through Christ has resonated with individuals across the world. Christianity offers a path to new life where individuals can find peace, purpose, and healing regardless of their past. This message of hope and forgiveness continues to inspire people and create lasting change in communities. Second, missionary work and global evangelism have been crucial in spreading Christianity. From its early days, Christians have obeyed the call to share the gospel across nations, overcoming challenges to reach people from all walks of life. Missionaries not only preached the message of Christ, but also provided education, health care, and services that improved lives and established lasting communities of faith. Third, Christianity's message of hope in the face of suffering has been a powerful force in its spread. Christianity doesn't ignore pain or suffering, but offers comfort, strength, and assurance that even in the darkest moments, there is a higher purpose and a brighter future through Christ. This perspective has been a source of resilience for individuals and communities facing hardship, fostering growth, even in the most challenging circumstances. Fourth, the emphasis on education, science, and cultural development within Christianity has played a significant role in its widespread acceptance. Christianity has been deeply intertwined with the history of learning, intellectual advancement, and the development of arts and sciences. Many of the world's early universities, schools, and scientific discoveries were influenced by Christian thought, providing a foundation for personal and societal progress. Lastly, the global influence of Christianity is rooted in its ability to adapt to different cultures and contexts while staying true to its core teachings. This adaptability, combined with the values of compassion, service, and community, has allowed Christianity to thrive in diverse parts of the world, from the West to the East, in prosperous nations and developing regions alike. In conclusion, Christianity's message of personal transformation, its global missionary efforts, its hope and suffering, its contributions to education and culture, and its adaptability have all contributed to its status as the most widely followed religion in the world. These factors continue to shape its legacy and ensure its enduring presence across the globe.